First you want to make a new file by clicking File New. Then you want to make the size into pixels. Then you want to change the size to 512 by 512, which is the HD icon size for Android, which you'll be able to use on the Play Store too. Now that you have that done, you want to make a new layer and delete background. This is your transparent layer. Then you want to go to your rectangle tool, select it, then right click, rounded rectangle. What you want to do is you want to set the roundness first. So I put it at 100 just for this tutorial. I'm going to click, hold down shift, and drag. When it's tiny it looks like a circle, but don't worry. There, you have rounded rectangle 1 as a layer. Make a new layer. This will be the layer of your logo. For just to go quick, I'm going to make it a yellow B for Bing, because who needs Google? I'm not going to pay attention to the font or anything, so I'm going to just change. Actually, I'll change the font. As an example, the bold font. Then you can change the size. So 72 is still too small, so you can change it by typing in a number. Let's try 200. 290 should be fine. You hold Control to move it. I'm not going to perfectly center this, you can do that with guides. There. I'm going to add a stroke because I can. Now it's time for the shadow effect. This has nothing to do with the palette for material design. You will have to do that yourself. This is just going to be a quick tutorial. So in this layer that you just created, it should be lower than the text layer, the layer with your icon. You'll select the rectangle select tool, select everything, right click your selection, and transform selection. You should be greeted with this. Just hold down shift and size it down a bit. Hold it up to the B like this, and rotate it. This is going to be your shadow. You want to drag it out all the way past the edge, and drag it out so it meets the line on the edge of the B. Hold down Control to stop the snapping. That looks fine. Then you want to hold down Alt and click right under layer 1, the one you created for the shadow. Then you press Ctrl Z. You have to have this selected still. You want to press G, which will take you to your paint bucket tool, or the gradient tool. Just right click to switch between them. Select the default black color and fill. This will be your fill. You want to switch to your eraser tool and turn down the size a bit, and erase around the B, or your logo of choice. I screwed up there a bit. I'm going to be back once I'm done. Once you're almost done erasing, you want to just finish erasing, and make sure you don't erase any shadow that you want to have. Then you press enter. As it is, this design looks okay. Then you want to switch to the eraser tool once you've deselected everything by pressing Ctrl D, and you erase the edges here. You might be saying, well, this doesn't look like material design. Well, it isn't, so you're going to turn down the opacity to something like 40. 20 works with lighter colors. There you go, you've got your material design thing. You can make this a gradient if you really wanted to. And this is the finished product. I made it a slight gradient. You can do that yourself. It's really not that hard. I won't be covering that in this tutorial because it's not necessary. If you wanted to, you could add a drop shadow to your rounded rectangle by going to the blending options and clicking drop shadow. you can see the preview here. The angle should be set at 120 for icons, and you can change the distance. I prefer to have it on 3 pixels. That's it.